Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing the classic Hotel California by the Eagles. I'm going to show you an easy and great sounding chord-based piano accompaniment. Now, the original key of B minor is a little bit high for my voice, and I expect that some of you are going to be in that same boat. Since it's quick to teach, after I teach the original key, I'll also show you how to do it in E minor. So no matter your vocal range, this video will have you covered. Let's jump in. Okay, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics sheet. You'll find a link for that down in the description. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the words line up. But since I'm offering this in two different keys, there are two different links, one for B minor, one for E minor. So let's quickly figure out which one is going to fit your voice better. So the original key of B minor, it's not exactly in the key of B minor, but it's close. It's gonna be on a dark, so starting on F sharp there, desert highway, and then the chorus, it goes up a little bit higher. So try singing along here. It's gonna be, welcome to the Hotel California. Goes up to an A there. Obviously it's too high for my voice. I'm gonna sing it down an octave, which you could also do too. Welcome to the Hotel California. But in the key of E minor, it would sound like this. On a dark desert highway, so that's the note there. And then it's gonna go as high as, welcome to the Hotel California, so that's the D above middle C there. But let's jump in now in the original key, and I'm gonna go into more detail on all the rhythms and stuff in this section. The intro and verses share the same chord progression. It looks like this. We'll start out with a B minor, just like this. So right hand's gonna play B, D, and F sharp. This is middle C right here, by the way, to get the octave right. And then I'm an octave lower with my left hand thumb just on a B bass note. Next up, we've got a F sharp 7 chord, and I'm gonna use my third finger in my left hand for that low F sharp. And then in the right hand, I'm just gonna play A sharp, C sharp, and E there. And I'm using 2, 3, and 5 for my fingers. Next, we have an A major chord. I'm gonna hit this A bass note with my thumb, and then we were just doing these two notes in the last chord. We're gonna keep them there and just put our right hand thumb on A. So A, C sharp, and E there. So real smooth transition there. And then we're gonna move to E. This is another smooth transition. I'm gonna put my fourth finger down on E here, and I'm gonna keep my pinky on this E. So this is an inversion on an E major chord, doing G sharp, B with the second finger, and E. And we're gonna feel this as kind of a slow 4/4 time. So each one of these measures gets 4 counts. And right off the bat, I'm gonna start just pulsing quarter note chords, so playing on every count. So this first line would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So just notice this whole time the left hand position has basically been in like a D 5-finger scale. It's just at the beginning that we kind of stretched our thumb up to do the B. Next up is this G. I'm gonna do the bass note with my second finger here, and I'm just gonna move down to a root position, G major chord. All white notes, G, B, and D. And now this move to the D is really similar to what we did with the A to the E. Our pinky can stay on this D, and we're gonna do an inversion. Pinky in the left hand's gonna hit this D. Looks like that. So D, and then thumb on F sharp, A, and D there. Next for this E minor, we're gonna do a similar inversion in the right hand. So we're just gonna move this hand shape up, and we're still gonna use 1, 2, and 5 for the fingers on G, B, and E, and of course, E bass note there with the fourth finger. And then we're gonna just step up to that F sharp 7, same as we did it in the first line. Now we can develop the rhythm a little bit. This is optional, but I'm gonna start thinking in eighth notes. So we're dividing the beat in half, not just feeling 1, 2, 3, and so on, but thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In the left hand, I'm gonna start hitting not only on beat 1, also beat 3, and then the and after 2 and the and after 4. So the rhythm would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when we add back in the right hand, it means for those and counts, the left hand is gonna hit between the right hand chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that. Now that we have that rhythm, I would suggest adding a little passing tone between the E at the end of the first line and the G at the beginning of the second. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. So just kind of a little walk up there on F sharp. Final thing I'll mention here is to help things sound really smooth and nice, I'm using the sustain pedal, keeping it held down, but just doing a little lift every time the chord changes. If you need help coordinating your lift timing, check out the video I made all about that. So with all those details, it's gonna sound like this. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Then it goes around again with different words, and then you would be in the chorus. So let's do the chorus. Here's the chords for that. You might notice there are no chords here that we haven't already talked about. So it's just the same stuff in a different order. All the rhythms and pacings can be the same. So we got the G, down to the D, keeping our pinky on D, coming up to that F sharp 7, and then we've got a B minor. Now, there is something interesting on this B minor I want to talk about. This is optional, but for the B minor, there's this cool walk up. It's going to sound like this. So instead of coming up here for the B bass note, I'm going to go all the way down an octave lower, and I'm actually going to start on my 4th finger. And we're just going to walk up, but C's and F's are sharp. So we go B, C sharp, D, E, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to cross our 3rd finger over to F sharp. That lets us come down on the G with our 2nd finger, which is where we want to be. Most of those left hand notes just hit right with the right hand quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The exception being this F sharp here with the 3rd finger is going to be an 8th note and 1. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Cool. I'll just do a slow sing through of that chorus, and I am going to add the B minor walk up, but like I said, that's optional. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. And then we would be going into another verse. And from there on out, it's just a bunch more verses and another chorus. And then after the last verse, it goes into the outro or guitar solo section where it just repeats that same sort of verse chord progression over and over again, I think 5 times total, and it fades out at the end. If you don't have someone playing along with you doing a guitar solo, you might want to just do it once or twice. And then after the last F sharp 7, ending on a B minor, so it sounds kind of final. So first things last, I want to go back and talk a little bit more about the intro. Like I said, it's the same chord progression as the verses, so you can just play the intro by playing 2 times through that full chord progression, maybe with the full rhythm, or just keeping it more simple at first, just kind of holding things out. But the studio recording has all this really cool guitar arpeggio picking stuff. I wanted to give you an option for that, but this is definitely a little bit trickier, so consider it optional, but it's going to sound like this. So to do this, we actually need to think in 16th notes. So dividing the beat in 4, thinking 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Let's start with just the right hand, and we'll do it just on the B minor chord. And what you see there under the counts are the finger numbers for where they go. So the 5th finger's up on F sharp, the 1st finger's down on B, and the 3rd finger is on D. So the main pattern here is 1E and a 2E. Again, 1E and a 2E. And that's really it, because that exact same rhythm just repeats starting on beat 3. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So get the hang of that. So below that, here are the left-hand notes, and it's not only going to do the root, it's also going to do the 5th. So in the case of the B minor, it's the B and the F sharp. And we're going to play in the left hand on beat 1 on the root, and then beat 2 on the 5th, and then it just repeats again, 3, 4. So the left hand's really just playing on the quarter notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. When you put the hands together, that note on beat 2 is going to hit right between two right hand notes. They're going to line up like together, right, right, left, right. Again, together, right, right, left, right. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So you can get some muscle memory for that. And at some point, it'll just click. Sounds really nice. Let me walk you through the whole thing though now, because there's a couple of little things to keep in mind. So we've got the measure of B minor. For the F sharp 7, we're going to do the same thing. Just note we're using the fingers that we're playing the chords with, so the fingers from my chart a second ago have changed. And for this chord, we're going to hit on beat 3, but then just hold it for the rest of the measure, like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3, 4. Now up to A. So on the A, you're going to do the full measure's worth of rhythm. There is a sus2 in there on the recording that you can hear, so I'm actually probably going to do that. So instead of the C sharp, I'm going to use my 2nd finger on B. For the E, we'll do the thing where we stop on beat 3. 4. In the second line, the only chord that does the stop on beat 3 thing is the final chord, the F sharp 7, so it plays through the D. And then it would loop around again. Final detail I want to mention is on the G, on the recording, there's kind of this lead guitar melody thing, and I'm going to work that melody into my arpeggio here because I think it sounds really cool. It sounds like this. So I'm going to do the first half of that measure like we would do anyway. So there's beat 3, and once we're there, I'm going to do D, G, A, B, D, and the timing there is going to be 3 and 4E, and notice the left hand still hits the 5th on beat 4. Let me play that through one more time slowly, especially because I didn't go into all the 5ths. So if you're not sure what the 5th of the chord is, you can look here. All right, that's everything you need to know for the original key. So now we'll go through and talk about it in the lower key of E minor. It could also be a higher key. If you've got a really high voice, you could sing it up an octave higher than where I am. But here's the verse chords, and I mentioned I'm gonna go a lot faster this time, so if you need to work on the rhythm and stuff, refer to the last section. We've got E minor, E, G, B, all white notes, left hand thumb is an octave lower on a E. Then we've got this B7. I'm actually going to try to do that with my third finger because it sets us up for everything else nicely. And so third finger on B, and then we've got D sharp, F sharp, and A there. The transition from the B7 to the D is really smooth because we can keep those top two fingers just coming up D's with the thumbs here. And then down to A, we keep our pinky on this A. Fourth finger in the left hand hits A, C sharp, and E, first and second finger. Next, we're going to a C major. This is the moment that we did the walk up before. The walk up note for this key is going to be B. So after the A for and C, just regular old root position C, C, E, G, down to G. Keeping our pinky on G here, just coming down here, 1 and 2 on B and D, pinky on G. We're just gonna move that exact same shape up for the A minor, stepping up to our fourth finger on A there, C, E, and A. And then we're back to the B7. So with all the details that we established in the last section, slow, it's gonna sound like this. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Let's talk chorus. Here's the chords for the chorus in this key. So we're starting out with C. I'm going to use my second finger there. Down to the G. Up to the B7, so all chords we've already talked about. And then here is the walk-up moment, again, optional, but I'm gonna come to this E minor here, but down to this E here, and it's gonna sound like this. So we're basically doing like an E minor scale here, just fifth finger, fourth finger on F sharp, stepping up white keys, thumb on B, and then cross the second finger to C, so we end up where we want to be. And again, that rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. And all the chords in the second line are just like we did them in the verse. So here's that whole chorus slowly. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. And now let me just play through that optional, more advanced intro arpeggio. Not going to go over the rhythm again, but it looks like this. So for the D chord, I'm going to do an E instead of the F sharp to get that sus2 sound there. So there's the place where there's that extra optional detail where I'm going to go just C, D, E, G. Cool. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Normally at the end I do a full cover, but since the song is sort of the same thing over and over again, verse, chorus, there's not a bridge or anything. I'm just going to do a shorter playthrough of each key since we did 2 different keys. So I'll just play the intro, the first verse, and the chorus once for the key of B minor and then once for E minor. But of course, if you can do that, you can do the whole thing as long as you've got your chords and lyrics chart. Same thing, just the lyrics change, and you can read those later verses. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Also, leave a request in the comments. Okay, so here is my version of Hotel California in the original key. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. And here's my version of Hotel California in the key of E minor. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. of voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, "Welcome to the Hotel California." Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here.